Okay.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitchell. I am an addict in recovery, going on 15 months.
I'm Anna. I'm a wife of an addict in recovery. This guy right here. I'm recovering also from codependency.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just want to say good evening to everybody and hope you had a great day. We wanted to come on and let you know what our next couple weeks looks like.
Hi, Mommy!
2.5 weeks looks like. So I am, like I said, almost 15 months clean. Me and Anna haven't gone
Hey, Jen!
anywhere. Hey, Jen. We haven't gone anywhere, or I haven't gone anywhere without Anna, or I was in Utah in intensive outpatient or inpatient rehab. So it's been a long time. I wasn't ready to chance going anywhere by myself. It's too easy for me to, even though how good I feel and how strong my recovery feels.
Can I say,
I don't want to.
and when he says on his own, he's talking about like a long time, not talking about like just going in the car driving somewhere. I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, no, that. I mean, yeah, right. I've gone to the store, worked, and do stuff like that. But this is for 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So when me and Anna sent the Shark's Teeth out, we were down in North Carolina, and I'm going back down to North Carolina. But that trip, my parents asked me if I could come back down and finish some work on the house, and I said that I would talk it over with my wife, Anna, and I'll let you know then. I couldn't give an answer because we talk about everything we do now and make sure we're both okay with it. And then we move to the next step. So I just said, I will talk about it and I'll let you guys know. One of the boundaries I had is I wanted someone to be there at the house. Either that be Anna or my dad. And my dad is coming down. He's actually already down there and I'm driving down tomorrow. So it's not that I don't think I can be somewhere by myself, and it's not that I, feel I'm strong enough in my recovery. I do, but I don't want to put myself in that risk. I don't want to put myself in that situation. 2.5 weeks at the beach, at a beach house. Anything can happen. I lived at the beach for 8 years, and I was pretty bad in my addiction when I did.
Hey, Marianne!
So it's very easy to slip back into those behaviors, especially if I'm unchecked. So me and Anna talked about it,
mm-hmm.
and once I told her that my dad was going to be down there the whole time, she said she was fine with it, and I said okay. And that now, this step, I'm leaving tomorrow. This next step is we talked about how we're both probably going to go through some things. I know that, I'm going to have feelings of, I wonder if Anna's feeling nervous about me being here, or I'm alone, I'm down here, I know I'm with my dad, but still, I mean, the addict snuck around and did whatever with whatever. I know we're both going to be kind of tested, so we've already talked about that a little bit beforehand. Mm-hmm. And my dad was actually super nice, and he even said that he would fly me to my hometown. We'd ride down there together and then ride back together and fly me back up here. I really appreciated that, but I think a drive down is not the issue for me. It's the idle time in 2.5 weeks being down there. So that kind of set up why we wanted to come on, because I think this will be a great opportunity for me and Anna to work through things that we go through, and we'll be able to do lives. Mm-hmm. Her up here and me down there, and kind of go back and forth and talk about what we're going through, how we got to where we were, and what we did to resolve certain things that come up.
Yep, because we've already said that one of the things that we want to be is open, honest, and vulnerable with you guys. And so that's a big thing for us is, we tell ourselves not to future trip because we don't know what's going to happen. It could be, he go down there and nothing come up, to be absolutely honest. But here's the thing, when Mitchell did, what I really like about what Mitchell did is he took an inventory. Let Dodgy out. Our cat's going to scratch the door, so we're going to let him out of the room. So he took an inventory of going, okay, I know I can do this, but I'm not going to put myself in an environment where there's a risk and be alone. So, his dad's down there. And this is what we talk about to you guys. There are going to be those hard times that come up into that relationship that's going to test the waters. But those are the moments that really are going to have you guys really grow. And we know that for Mitchell and I really don't believe anything's going to happen, but I do. Does that mean though that I'm not going to get triggered for past events that maybe happen, get a little nervous here or there? No, it doesn't. But all I do know though, as long as I express those to Mitchell and don't hold them in, because if I hold them in, I'm going to create those assumptions, and the assumptions are going to start making resentments if I don't express them. So Mitchell and I have already talked about, something like if I get nervous and I call him, one of my expectations are not to freak out, not to, get upset right away, to go, hey, Mitchell, if you ever see a phone call, because I know you're probably working, could you try to call me back in an hour or two and just say, hey, because when Mitchell and I just talk to one another, I automatically calm down, especially just hearing his voice and knowing everything's okay. And so that's something that Mitchell and I will just have to work through. He's going to work through his things. He's got his support group that he can reach out to. And I have my amazing support group too that I can reach out to, because that is something that there are going to be things, guys, I think for the friends and families, is what happens to us is it could just be one day of sleeping in late. But our mind, what happens to it is we don't go to that logical place and go, oh, do I sleep in sometimes? Yeah, I do. It goes straight to, oh my God, is this a relapse? Like it just goes straight there. But one of the things that we have to start challenging ourselves, especially if they've been in recovery for a while, is going, okay, let me look around. He's sleeping in late one day. Everything else is okay. And that's one of the things actually we do talk about, right, Mitchell, is they talk about clusters. Is if you ever get those inclinations, always look for clusters. And what clusters basically are is, go ahead, Mitchell, what are clusters?
Well, if things I do start not adding up, if I leave to go somewhere and it takes me way longer than it should have to go there, and then I come back and I say I forgot something, or I say I'm going here and I end up here, or I don't know. I mean, just a lot of stuff like that. If I say something and or if I get defensive for no reason, if I'm tired the next day after those things happened, just a lot of old behaviors grouped into one. Would be the simplest way to explain
Yeah,
it.
and the thing is those clusters don't have to take place in just one day. Say if all of a sudden in a week you start realizing that the person that you love is pushing away from you, and that hasn't happened in a long time. Things are missing again. Little lies are happening. And like Mitchell said, one of the things that I love about Mitchell is that, say if he knows he's going to be late for something, say if he tells me, hey, I'm going to be home, I'll be home in about a half an hour, but it takes, honestly, and this sounds to some people like, oh, it's only 15 minutes late. But say if it takes 45 minutes, okay? Mitchell will call me and say, hey, sweetheart, I'm doing this and this, so I'll be home 15 minutes late. That all of a sudden already will calm my nerves. So that's something to definitely talk about with your loved one, especially if you guys are going down to the recovery path. It's absolutely okay to communicate that and talk about what expectations you have and things that will help both of you ease certain traumas and triggers that kind of happen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. It wasn't because Anna made me call her or do whatever. I've just finally got it in my head after 3 rehabs and two and a half years of trying to get recovery that I need to be honest with myself. And I just play it as if it was work, or if when we have kids, and they say they're going to be here at a certain time, like I'm going to want to know that, or else I'm going to worry. So I just keep myself accountable. If I say, hey, I'm going to be there in 15 minutes and I hit the highway and it's dead stop traffic, I'm going to call and say, it's dead traffic. I am going to probably be late. I'll call you when I get out of traffic. Do you need anything? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm just really open, honest, and with myself. And that takes all the lying and stuff out about it, Mm-hmm. And I think a good thing, because I was talking to my buddy the other day or today about it, is something that we can do on the addiction side after in recovery, is just explain where you're going. Explain in detail what you're doing. Because our family members, our loved ones, significant others have gone through a lot of trauma, and it hardly takes anything to make you feel like a cluster's forming.
Yep.
And if I say I'm going somewhere and then somehow all this stuff happens and it's like, well, I had to pick up here, is this person, or go here, or do this, or do that, or do this. It's like, that stuff does happen. And in addiction, who really cared? You know what I mean? The chaos of addiction was what we liked about it too. And we didn't care who we hurt. But just explain, say, hey, I got to go pick up my buddy. And then we're going to go chill here for 20 minutes. And then here, and if I don't answer my phone, I'll call you after something. You know what I mean? And if you overly explain that beforehand and then something happens, like, Anna's not going to be freaked out. If she calls and she's like, man, it's taking you a while, be like, oh, well, I already told you what I did. You know what I mean? So it's already defused before it ramps up to an argument or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep. And the thing is, too, is because I know this person will be watching, too. Ready? Here's the thing is, on both sides, when we really want it to work and we know we want it to work, okay, there is that recovery, there is that healing on both sides. And that doesn't just mean the healing of the addiction. It just means things that we may have that we need to challenge ourselves with. And so just always look inwards and also go to sometimes. Is there something that I could have done a little bit different? And one of the things is before you do something, really go, what I'm about to do, is it going to lead to what I would like? Meaning if you think that, the anger is going to lead to a good solution, I know that's not really what you're thinking. You're going, you know what? I need to, as much as this is bothering me, I absolutely talk about my pain and my hurt, but say it calmly, because then that way, usually things will stay calm. And then you can solve the problem and work through it for one another. That's definitely a huge thing, because I know one of the things with me, especially in early recovery, I still had a lot of resentment towards Mitchell because I didn't separate the Mitchell from the addiction, okay? So when things came up, I really wasn't talking to understand. I was already in defense like this. And if you have two fists because both people are in defense, you guys aren't going to come together. It's going to be a button of the heads, right? It's the throwing of the punches. And I think sometimes we just don't realize that. Just ask yourself before you do something, what is my intention? What is my goal from this, this conversation or the way I'm about to approach something? Always ask that.
Yeah, and I think a good thing to remember is it's kind of like, when you want to give someone bad news, you start with some good news. To make someone more receptive.
What is that called?
It's a soft startup.
Yep.
So, like, even if I have a bone to pick with Anna, I can go and say, man, this, like, if she was cleaning the room one day, I could be like, man, the room really looks nice. Like, you did a really good job. I like to keep this, like, my one side of the cupboard, like, I had all this stuff organized, if you could just leave that for me, that'd be great. And then, it's still, you lead with, it's a good job, you did a good job, I love you, like, it's awesome, it's motivating, and it's like, this is something maybe I could do, instead of just coming in and be like, where the heck is this? I told you not to touch my stuff. You know what I mean? And it's just stuff like that, and it can work with anything in life.
Because it is. When we come in that way, and don't get me wrong, guys, there's times it's going to happen, okay? Anger bubbles up. I really do believe anger is a secondary emotion, and usually it's because we're hurt, okay? The anger comes out. But even if it comes out, that's the same thing, it's progress, not perfection, right? There are going to be times I get angry, and then all of a sudden I can sit down later and go, wait a minute. How can I handle this? What can I learn from this? And just move on. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you've done something wrong. We're all learning. Tori, that's freaking awesome. I'm glad that your husband does the same exact thing, because that was a key component for Mitchell and I, is that Mitchell really understood my feelings and really understood where I was coming from when it was kind of like, could you just call me to let me know where you are? Because honestly, like Mitchell was saying earlier, I just believe that's a good quality or characteristic with a husband and wife and just a marriage in general, or even just friendships, is that you just know that if you're going to be late, it's just nice to call someone and say, hey, so you don't worry, I'm going to be late. And I think what happens is we tie that to the addiction so much, but the truth is, I think that's just a good quality to have, is to just, you care about the individual, so you just want to know. So.
Yeah, and actually there's a book, The 7 Principles of Making a Marriage Work, and it's not only just for marriage, it's how to communicate well. It's by John Gottman. And he has run these tests for like the last 30 or 40 years on couples and how they communicate and good ways and bad ways and stuff like that, and has soft startups and like the 4 horsemen are like whenever pride and ego gets in and like attacking and all this stuff. But it's a good book to read just if you want to learn out how to communicate good, because what's that one thing we always say? The one thing from the book was the guy goes to his mechanic and he goes to get his car checked out, and he said, well, can you, before I buy it, I want to have the car inspected to see if it's running well. And he says, oh, it's running well. Take my word for it. He said, well, no, I talked to my wife about it, and I said if we're going to purchase this new car, that, I agreed that we'll have it inspected and make sure that it's all right and all good for her. And he said, oh, you let your wife tell you what to do. And he says, influence you. And he says, yeah, you don't. And he said, I'm divorced. So it just shows you that if you're not letting each other influence each other, it's that's already starting that friction.
Yep, and just know that word influencing, when you're in the beginning stages too, okay, of recovery, remember how I talk about that resentment? When you think influencing, it's again, we have that wall up and we're kind of like, I'm not letting you influence me. And those are just the little things, guys, that you really do just have to work through, is with that communication, is as hard as it is, and it's going to be a slow process. It's not all of a sudden like, hey, I'm going to come in and just all walls are knocked down. It's not going to happen. Mitchell and I, the best way to express what happened to Mitchell and I, we took a layer down brick by brick. Were there some meetings that we had that was through his rehab, that we had couple sessions that a bunch of bricks got taken down? Absolutely. But the majority of the time was just brick by brick. But we got there. And are there still bricks up? Probably yes. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I'm not even going to deny that. But the thing is, as long as we keep slowly doing it, we're moving forward. So that's one of the things, is I think something that I still do sometimes is I compare myself to other people. But if I keep comparing myself to other people, I'm not seeing the progress that Anna's really doing. It doesn't matter how quote unquote slow that I'm moving. All that matters is that I'm moving forward, one step at a time. Same thing with Mitchell. And that's all you can ask for yourself too. Because as long as you're moving forward, you're moving somewhere and you're moving in the right direction.
Yep.
So, let's see. Oh, Lori's on. And Art. On your mummy.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Art.
Hi, Michelle. Art's on. Summer's on. Hi, Summer. Lindsay's watching. Oh, Neetza's on. Hi, Neetza.
Mom is watching?
Yeah, Mom is watching. Hi, Chris, and I should do a little call out for Chris Clark. Chris, thanks for keeping Mitchell and I accountable. He actually would message us once in a while and say, you coming on this Wednesday? Are you coming on this Wednesday? And I was still feeling under the weather. And honestly, Chris, your messages of continuing that, it really was kind of one of those, he's right, Anna.
Heck yeah.
No matter how hard it is, you got to get back on. And so I really appreciate it, Chris, for sending those messages, because Mitchell and I need to be held accountable too. So we greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate all your support.
What's up, Gianna?
But that's really the reason why Mitchell and I honestly wanted to just come on today, guys, is we wanted to just let you know our thought process of Mitchell, leaving tomorrow down to the beach, going to be gone for about 2 weeks. Probably will go through a few things, but we're going to try our best that if we have any of those feelings, you guys are our support as well. We'll come on, we'll express them, so you guys also know what goes on when that happens, because I know one of the things is the worst that we can do is stay quiet when those moments that we really need to be the most vulnerable, because I do know that when people in my support group were courageous enough to share their experiences, that allowed me to go, oh my God, I'm not alone. I actually can express myself and other people feel the same. So if that's something that we can do for even just one person out there, it's absolutely worth it, and it will always be worth it. So.
Yeah. And, it has been a long time, this go around, that we haven't really been separate for too long, and that's simply because I've relapsed so many times, and it usually was when my pride and ego got in there and said, I got this, I can handle this, and I can go on this trip myself. And if you don't want me to go, whatever, like
Yep.
I'm doing good. I'm running my life. I'm doing this. I had to just step back this time. I had to step back big time this go around because I don't want to do it again. I don't know if I'll make it back if I would relapse. So I want to give it my best all, and I want to put Anna's feelings of our relationship. I really let her influence me because I've held the reins on my life for too long, and I really, really screwed it up pretty good. And so I give it to God. I give it to the people around me that I trust. Anna, my parents, her parents, siblings, real good friends in recovery, my sponsees. They're my support. And night. And I run everything by them. Because if I was doing it my way and didn't work on my communication and didn't work on being honest, then I wouldn't even have thought to tell my dad, let me ask my wife about it first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have thought it was going to be a big deal. You know what I mean? I got it. I can do everything on my own. And the only thing I know for sure I can do on my own is mess my life up pretty well. So I rely on the people that are around me, and I rely on you guys, and I know you guys rely on us, and like Anna said, it's awesome to keep us accountable, and we really just love you guys, and we're glad we're back at this with you guys.
Oh, it says, oh no, you guys are paused. I don't, let us know if you can hear us. Regardless, we're going to get off of here and wrap it up anyways. But I did want to just tell Don, keep saying that to him, because the love and support is good, but always know it's okay, Don, to hold those boundaries too. So if you need time for you just to relax and take a break, and I don't mean ending the relationship or anything, I mean just going out, having a day for you. It's absolutely okay to do that, okay? Boundaries are one of the things, I can tell you this right now. If I didn't hold boundaries, Mitchell and I would not be where we are. 100%, I can tell you that. And
oh, that was weird.
that was me.
And sometimes it does seem like people aren't trying. But his little bit of try this bit might be a huge for him. It might seem like nothing. I don't know. I don't know at all the situation. I'm just saying sometimes, there's a lot of little tries to get that one push. So, just have faith, let go, let God.
Yeah,
do what you can do for you.
Yeah, and I just read your comment, Matt, and thank you so much, and thanks for being a part of We Are Recovery. And might as well just say this right now, as Mitchell and I created We Are Recovery, the we doesn't stand for just Mitchell and I. The We Are Recovery stands for this whole support system that's on this page.
Right.
Absolutely, because the best quote that I really liked, Chris Avery, one of the life coaches at I Am, said it. He heard it. I think he heard it from someone else, but you alone can do it, but you can't do it alone. So we have the key to do it. We absolutely do, and we do it ourselves. But at the same time, we don't do it all by ourselves because we have a support system that's there for us. We lean on our support. So just always remember that. If I can leave you guys with one thing tonight before we sign off, if you do not have a support system, meaning if you do not have a group of people, okay, one person is great, okay? If one's there, that's amazing. But the more you form that the better it's going to be, because then you have, just think of it this way, and I've said this before, if there's a huge rock in the middle of the woods, you try to lift it by your own, you can't. But then all of a sudden you get two people, it gets a little bit lighter, but then you get a group of people and you actually can lift it. So just think of it that way. What you guys are dealing with, whether it's the family or friends or the addicts in recovery are still struggling, we all need a support group. So if you do not have a support group, find a support group, okay? There are a lot of 12-step programs out there. If you need any of them, you message Mitchell and I, and we will send those out to you, because that's the number one key.
Yeah, and I think if it's hard to reach out, which it is for, I'm sure, every human being, especially when we're in need. But if you build that we up, then you don't have to reach out. They reach out to you.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing. I have people checking on me nonstop. And I love it. It's the people behind the scenes, like Anna has her own Wii, I have my own Wii. A lot of them know each other too, and it's like we don't have to call them all the time. We can just do our life, and they're not in it totally, and we can have our own life, but they're there. They're behind us. They'll catch us no matter what, and they reach out when we need them, and we reach out when they need us, and vice versa.
Yep, and I saw you, Summer, hiding behind there with the Love When that support group, so there's everybody on here, and she's one of our supports too. So
What's up, Katie?
Just know, guys, get that support group. If you don't know where to find one, reach out to Mitchell and I, and we will definitely give you the information on how to do it. But we'll definitely wrap up, because one of the things is Mitchell even I love to ramble. I might. What did you say?
You're your father's daughter.
And that's very true.
Love you, Richard.
So we're going to stop it here, guys. We'll definitely talk to you, even though that we'll be in different states for about 2 weeks, but we'll definitely get on and talk to you guys. We love you guys very much.
And Skylar and Emma, we love you guys. We're so proud of you guys.
Yep, we love you
Love you
guys.
all.
Have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.
See ya.